Oh, I don't have to remember these. Dang it, that's fine. I have to check it every single time. Hi, everybody. Welcome to part 3. I hate Discord. What were we talking about? We were talking about the Prince of Egypt. We are talking about putting a baby in a basket down the river and how that's sort of slightly implausible.
And you said as far as the Bible is concerned, it's real. I was saying while we were waiting for you to catch up, I was saying to Haley that they would argue the Bible, the people that believe in the Bible would argue that that's the point. It's a miracle. God is the one that saved the baby. The magic sky god is the one that kept the baby alive because he had a plan for him and he wanted to make sure that he survived so that yada, 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 yada. But in terms of a movie, a structural movie, and that's the tact that I'm going to be taking this is from a movie standpoint, he's got main character syndrome. Much darker movie.
A much darker movie. What did you think of the music? Surely you must have liked some of the music.
The song that she sings as she's putting the baby in the basket.
All right, okay, fair enough. So overall, you did not care for the Prince of Egypt, is what you're trying to say nicely. Which is totally fair. I
mean, fair enough.
Fair enough. Not every
different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes for different folks. I appreciate that you watched something that you hadn't seen before. That's always great. How do we know we don't like things?
Other than like the animation, like the animation was beautiful. Like, okay. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful movie. But other than the animation and then that one song, it's garbage.
Hey, I mean, look.
That's such a strong word.
Garbage is so strong. Okay, I'll give you it.
I mean, that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, everyone is entitled to their opinion,
right?
And we respect.
They can be like, "What the fuck?"
We respect all opinions. And look,
we respect all opinions.
And look, the animation is beautiful. Like, there's a lot of beautiful animation. A lot of really fun. Like the chariot sequence at the beginning is very fun. Yeah, and if you're not a religious person, I don't feel that movie is overly pushy with its religious messaging, but I can see how it would be.
I think segments of it are. I think segments are, but I that's where I say maybe I'm blessed. I don't know, however you want to word it. In the fact that I can watch a movie that's supposed to be religious and it's just a story to me.
Yeah, enjoy it.
It's a story as valid as Darth Vader and the Death Star, or Frodo and the One Ring, or third example that I can't think of,
or other examples
where it's like they're all.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, let me put it to you guys this way. I believe more in the Death Star and Darth Vader being real than like every religious thing.
Oh man,
that happened.
You guys are gonna get me canceled today.
I mean, yeah. I'm not. I just am. I don't disagree. I don't think it's real either. That's where I say I just can enjoy it as a story.
I'm gonna have an opinion that doesn't get me canceled.
Not real story. If other people choose to believe that it actually happened and it's real, that's hey, power to whatever you choose to believe in. I don't. But
I will say that there is
no judgment.
I think there is historical evidence. Oh, not to turn this into a historical podcast. That's not what this is. But I think there is historical evidence that Moses was real. Like, he was a real person at the very least, and that he existed. But I don't actually know. That I don't want to say that with any strong conviction because I don't actually know.
I mean, yeah, religious history is a fascinating subject for some, and it could make a podcast in its own right, but. I mean, that's really not. We're here to talk about movies.
John, what's your next Leica movie?
My next Leica movie, because we could. That's a whole other debate. We could spend all day talking about. But again,
this.
we here at the Spur of the Moment podcast believe that everyone can believe whatever they choose to believe in, and there are no bad options, and we're not trying to piss anyone off. But
Exactly.
I am as me and Haley and Justin are as entitled to have our opinions
Whoa,
as
whoa,
the
whoa,
people who choose to
Don't
believe.
lump me in.
Justin,
Here for chaos.
we're lumping you in.
Don't lump me in with your
Are as
blasphemy.
entitled to. Well, I'm lumping you in, Justin. Are as entitled to have our opinions
I don't like that I'm being
as
lumped
the
in.
people who believe in Zeus are.
We're lumping you in, Justin. Sit down and shush.
Justin, sit down and shut up.
I feel lumped
Justin,
in.
We're a pair. You're being lumped in here. You're being lumped in.
Dang
We're
it.
as entitled to believe as we want to, as people who believe in Zeus can believe in the thunder god.
All right.
So the next movie that I watched was The Box Trolls, which I'm just gonna say it wasn't one of my favorite Leica movies.
I've only seen it. I think I've only seen it once. I like that movie, but from what I
I've-
recall, but I don't
I've
recall
seen
it
it
enough.
twice. I've seen it twice, and I like all of the Leica movies for one thing or the other. So like, it's not to say that I think it's a bad movie. I just of the Leica movies, there has to be one that's on the bottom of the scale, and this is kind of it for me
Yeah, fair enough.
personally. I appreciate the animation work that goes into these stop motion movies. I'm always going to respect these just for that alone. But when you have characters like the box trolls don't talk, they make like grunty, like kind of noises, and to me, that just I don't like characters that do that when they're kind of the main focus of the movie. It just makes it hard to follow
Yeah, fair
for me
enough.
personally.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so then the human characters, I like the bad guy. I think the bad guy is fun, but the rest of them are kind of just bland. That's kind of my thing with this movie is it's kind of bland.
Fair enough. So Haley, have you
but it's-
seen Box Trolls?
10 minutes of it.
10 minutes of it. Didn't do it for you.
That's how
Didn't,
bad it is.
Didn't do it for you.
I think
It's fine.
I think
That's kind
we
of how I feel about this. Is just it's fine.
I think we went to see this in theaters off the back of the strength of how much we liked Paranorman.
Yeah, I think so. So I think if that's the case, then I've watched it 3 times.
Oh,
Because I
interesting.
know I've watched it once at home before this.
Interesting. I think I've only seen it the once, and it was in theaters, from what I can recall. It wasn't one of my
It's-
my
yeah, like
favorites.
I said. No, like I said, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
That's kind of it's
It's
fine.
fine. Hey,
It
speaking of
doesn't-
it's
it's not-
fine.
It doesn't bother me. It's not offensive, but it's not at the top of the list either.
It's fine. So speaking of it's fine, I assume that's it. That's all you got.
Oh, that's all I got, man.
Fine.
It's box trolls.
It's Box Trolls. So my next one is Horton Hears a Who, with Jim Carrey as Horton and Steve Carell as the Who. Now we're gonna ask the question, Haley, have you seen Horton Hears a Who?
It wasn't terrible.
Actually, see, I'm glad you've seen these because it makes this easier on me. It means I have to describe it less because I thought it was okay. Like, it didn't blow me away.
I think I've only watched that one like once.
I know
maybe
that
twice.
I watched the ending
I've only
bit.
seen it once.
I've seen it a couple times. I think at least 3. But I like the bit at the end where they sing I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore. I've watched that a bunch because I think that part's funny. But
yeah, that I've seen that I've seen on TikTok a few times.
There's a Jim Carrey gives kind of a really kind of like impactful line at the end when he thinks the Clover is going to get wiped out. But otherwise, yeah, it's just kind of like it's all right. There's just nothing. The animation's not that stand out. The story's not that interesting. Like the characters aren't really. They're just kind of like stock. Like that Seth Rogen character.
Yeah, like that. What I remember feeling about that movie is it's chicken soup. Like it's not like super interesting. It's not hurtful. It's just kind of exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. Like just Jim Carrey, he clearly wants to be like, oh, I'm a voice acting guy, and he just, I don't know, he's just not giving it as a character. I don't know if it's just the writing or I don't know what, but it's fine. It's fine. This was the point where I was like, because I watched Rio and then I watched this, and I was like, you know what? They're okay. Like they're not offensively bad.
You know what? I think I understand why this movie studio isn't around anymore.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, they're fine movies, but they're not really moving the needle for me. Like,
Yeah.
they're okay. So that's it. That's all I got for. That's all I got for Horton Hears
Carol
Who.
Burnett in it?
She was, yeah. She was. She plays
like, the kangaroo lady.
She's the kangaroo in that. Yeah, I will say that the movie does a really good job of like demonstrating fake moral outrage. Like Burnett is a kangaroo who is pearl clutcher. Dang it! Give it a second.
We need to deal with this issue, man.
We really do.
Oh, I think he's back.
You're back.
Carol Burnett plays what is known as a pearl clutcher. You would know it. You would know the character as Reverend Lovejoy, Helen Lovejoy, Reverend Lovejoy's wife. Yeah. Real 1980s moral panic and moral outrage. Like she riles up the people into being afraid, kind of character, and she does it very well. She's very funny. There's a funny.
The modern definition of her, I believe, would be a Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
She's a real Karen.
She's a real Karen. And then Will Arnett.
I only know her from Annie.
Oh yeah. She was. Yeah, she absolutely was an Annie.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's Miss Hannigan.
Okay. Interesting.
And then Will Arnett's in there. He's a pretty funny vulture guy. He's got some funny lines. Joe, what's your next Leica movie?
Yeah. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
Well, my next movie is not. All the rest of my Leica movies are my have scenes and have not scenes. So my next rapid fire is Chicken Run.
Oh yes, Chicken.
Figured I'd stay in that kind of style. Of animation.
That's stop motion. So let's start as always. Hailey, have you seen Chicken Run?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
I could see why you wouldn't, because is that not Aardman? That's Aardman, right?
No, it's DreamWorks.
Yeah, but did Aardman not do the animation?
I have no idea. I'd have to look it up.
Because I'm almost
Let me get back
entirely
to you.
Aardman. If you're not, you may not be familiar with them by name, but they did. Are you familiar with Wallace and Gromit?
They're the guys that make Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, they're the guys that make Wallace. Are you familiar with Wallace and Gromit?
I've seen Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, they're pretty sure they did.
We lost Justin again.
I'm pretty sure they did Chicken Run. Hold on.
Chicken Run, produced by Pathé and Aardman Animations.
Yeah.
In partnership with DreamWorks Animation.
Interesting. So that makes me wonder if like DreamWorks came in and was like, we'll fund, or they saw Wallace and Gromit and were like, we'll fund whatever weird movie you want to make. And they went, hear me out. Chickens.
So,
and they want to run.
For those who haven't seen it, essentially Chicken Run, very basic movie, is about these hens are on a chicken, like on a farm, treated horribly, and they want to escape. And that's kind of the entire plot of the movie.
It's a parody of like Great Escape, like internment camps, kind of. And they're in what is essentially an internment camp. And a rooster, they think he can fly, gets in, and they're in a egg laying farm, and the owner wants to convert it into a chicken pot pie farm, which kind of seems like it has a shelf life.
I mean, it certainly seems more, just as a person who's worked in that industry, it seems far more expensive to have to constantly buy new fowl.
Yeah,
as opposed to having a continuous source of them laying eggs.
Right, you'd have to like she's got like 5 or 6 of them. That assuming that she takes all of them, then she's got to buy more. And that's just.
And again, I see